It is the dead of summer. Temperatures are swelling above 100 degrees. The hot desert sun is unrelenting. It is the end of Ramadan and the beginning of Eid. Eid is usually a time of celebration, but intense fighting has broken out. I am a medical doctor with Doctors Without Border in northern Syria. The war has been raging for over 3 years now. People aren't going to work. Children aren't going to school. There is no safe place. There is no clean running water. There is no electricity. And the healthcare system has collapsed. Just a couple months ago, my surgical colleagues were operating a small operation inside a secret cave. They had to crawl into a small entrance to get inside. Inside there was an inflatable operation tent, some emergency beds, and chalky dust everywhere. But they managed to take care of patients. Since the war has begun, the Syrian government has been attacking healthcare facilities and healthcare personnel. The patients that are looking for care are in danger, and the people that take care of the patients are also in danger. We have now upgraded to a building that was once a chicken farm. There are no more chickens there, but this isn't like a scene out of the episode of Grey's Anatomy. That afternoon, I was assigned to look over people that were sick but stable. It is one room divided into many areas. There's a triage area, there's an inflatable operating tent, there's a maternity ward, and also in the front, we ask that the patients leave their weapons there. Earlier in the day, there was intense, heavy bombing. The government liked to bomb when people got out of mosque because they could get more bang for their buck. There was chaos in the hospital. People were lying everywhere. And there I saw this man. He was laying in the middle of it. He had been wounded by shrapnel. Earlier, we had stopped his bleeding and bandaged him up. But he looked uncomfortable to me. So I tried to ask him in Arabic, "Are you in pain?" And he wouldn't look at me. And so I thought, maybe he didn't hear me. So I tried to walk closer to him. And I felt a little scared because he was a big guy, twice my size. But I mustered up a little bit more courage. And in Arabic, I asked him, "Are you in pain?" And to my surprise, he didn't look at me, but in English he said, "Cover your hair, cover your hair." And I was a bit surprised when he said that, because I had already been covered from neck down, as was customary for foreign women working in Syria. His comments sent me into a time where I endured sexism and gender inequality. When I was little, my grandmother would always tell me, "Stop growing taller, we can't marry you off." And when I was 10 years old, my father wouldn't let me get glasses. I couldn't see the chalkboard. And he said, "If you had glasses, you wouldn't be pretty and we couldn't marry you off." He said, "You have it a lot better. Your great-grandmother in China, she had her feet bound." And my aunties, I would hear often the times they would say, "Boys are easier to take care of than girls." boys are just better than girls. But through all of that sexism and through all of the favoring of boys over girls, my family did value education. And so as a little kid, my father would go around telling people I was going to be a doctor. And lucky for him, I also did feel the same way. Medicine fascinated me. I absolutely loved the bugs that invaded the bodies. And when I was in college, there was an Ebola outbreak in Congo. And I was just fascinated how this bug could wreak such havoc on the body. And so I read everything I could about this outbreak. And that's when I discovered Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders is an international humanitarian organization that was started in 1971. And their basic principles are impartiality, neutrality, independence. And it is because of these tenets they are able to go to places and do the work that they do. And when I was in college, I said to myself, one day I'm going to be a doctor with that organization, and I'm going to try to help and alleviate the suffering in the world. And years went by, and I went to medical school, and I thought that being a doctor, I could level the playing field a bit. That being a doctor, I wouldn't have to face sexism or gender inequality. But I think that was a bit naive, because when I was in training, nurses would rather take orders from a male doctor. Patients would always say, "What a nice nurse you are." And female doctors still get paid less than male doctors. And many of my female colleagues feel the same way. But despite that, I finished my training, and I was accepted into Doctors Without Borders. And there I was in Syria. I thought I had made all my dreams come true, that I'd become a doctor, and that I had fought all the sexism and the gender inequality. But here I was with this man. He was wounded, and he needed help. But in that second, he took everything away from me that I had worked so hard to fight against: sexism, gender inequality. And I was just so angry at him, and I just wanted to walk away. I thought, you must be not that sick. I'll just let you be there and you can just suffer. But my conscience wouldn't let me do that. I couldn't watch him suffer. And I thought about how we were meeting at that particular moment, and that he believed in something so strong that his religion brought him there with his suffering. And then I thought about why I was there. It's because I believe so strongly in medicine, and that came before being a woman. And so for him, religion was like medicine for me. Religion trumped everything, even his suffering, even equality for women. And medicine for me is the same in that I didn't need to be treated fairly. And so I met him where he was, and I forgave him at that moment. And I let go of that anger in that moment. And I was a doctor first, and a woman second. So I did what he asked me to do. I went into another room. I took the purple scarf that was around my neck. I wrapped it around my hair. I went back out. I gave him some pain medicine. And then I put him in an ambulance for him to go to Turkey in hopes that he would get better care. Inshallah. Thank you.